We'll come to you with another video. Yeah, so something was brought to my attention. Shout outs to the Afrodamus show. He brought this to my attention. And, it just goes to show you that, the passport Keisha or the passport sister is going to find her time very difficult in the places in which she's traveling. There was this notion that, oh, when like American black women go abroad, they're desired, guys want to make them wives and things like that. But that's not the case at all. It's actually pretty opposite. And I don't know, they're still stuck in this delusion that it is the case. So, a video was brought to my attention with a woman. She went to I want to say Cote d'Ivoire. Like she went to Cote d'Ivoire. Out of all the places she went to a French speaking place. You know, she went to and she didn't have any like knowledge of French. So it's like, okay, well, if you don't have any knowledge of French, then why would you even go to a place if you don't even have knowledge of that any lingua franca for that matter, you know what I mean? So this is the one thing that I'm not getting. I would think that there would be some kind of knowledge of it. But let's go ahead and get into this. I'm glad I believe I liked the video so I can review it. Okay, here we go. So again, you see this woman well past her prime. The name Queen, like they all call themselves, and I guess they feel like they're entitled to such queen treatment, I mean, anywhere they go. So let's see what happened to her and let's get into it. I know I said I was going to go live, but maybe I may have to wait until tomorrow to go live or something like that. But I just wanted to go over this real quick. But let's listen. So she's pretty obsessed with herself, as you can see, you know.
I'm actually in New York right now, the New York airport. I'm on my way to Atlanta, handle some business. Left the girls in Ivory Coast while I go do what I gotta do.
So I don't know what girl she's talking about, but maybe that's her field trip group. I don't know. I don't know what girl she's talking about.
But let's just say that I'm not gonna be on the continent permanently too much longer.
This is a good thing for us Africans, that because if one does it, hopefully the others will follow along. So, their masculine ways, their 304 ways, their misandrous ways don't like infiltrate the local women, and we can have like the locations that we want to go to get like a wife and things like that won't be contaminated with such things that are going on in the West.
Just in the context. Yeah, no, I'm not going to be there permanently too much longer. I'm actually writing a book about my experience, but long story short, they almost killed me in the hospital
I think that's cap. I think she was exaggerating, but let's keep on going.
twice, and I do, and they physically abused me, gave me physical injuries.
So, if that was the case, if they gave him physical injuries and things like that, like if she got physical injuries, I think it would make even the local news. You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't even make the forget it being on American news. It would be on local news. Basically, what would happen is like if this happened, they would be like, well, what's going on in these hospitals? Okay, what's going on in these hospitals that they're not treating their clients right? So this is why it's kind of foolish for her to actually say something like that, which is not based on facts. But let's continue on.
And ripped off all my fingernails. These are not even the nails. The nails, I have longer nails. They ripped them all the way to the skin, the nubs. They put
Okay, so yes, we would have heard about that then. It would have been like that would have been darn near torture if that's the case.
me unconscious. They put me under anesthesia without my permission or my daughter's permission. They didn't let her see me for 2 days. And after the 2 days, I ended up with like something called the policeman heel, which is basically like a bruised heel with blood in it, bruises on the back of my leg, the same leg.
So it's like it sounds like she wants us to believe that they just beat her to death or they tortured her or they took her as a POW or something like that. That's what it sounds like. It really sounds like that.
Bruises and burns and scratches, and also on my
Bruises, burns, and scratches. Yeah, you would have heard this on local news if this really happened. You know, you would have heard this on local news. You definitely would have heard this.
right shoulder. When I asked them what happened to me, they told me you did that to yourself. I didn't come in here with these physical injuries. I know I was unconscious for 2 days, and when Ivory Coast, Cote d'Ivoire, and when I woke up, I'm asking y'all what happened to me, and you're like, oh, you did that. Excuse me? Okay, so I went to the police. I filed a police report. Well, first I went to the police, and they sent me away. Like, oh, you got to go get you a lawyer. I'm like, y'all can't write no police report. Like, I have physical injuries. I got photos. I printed out everything. Like, they did this shit. Then they was like, nah.
So that's good. Shout outs to them. They didn't even want to hear her Keisha tantrums because the thing is, she's probably not the only one who tried these kind of things. You know what I mean? Like, she's probably not the only one who did this. So the good news is, Africans like stayed tough and they didn't bend, which is good.
Sent me away. The next day, I went to, but he said, no, I'm gonna call the hospital. This is the police said, we'll call the hospital, and maybe you can go talk to them, and maybe you can get like, you guys can come up with some sort of solution. So I go meet with the director of the hospital, it's a woman, and the three doctors who treated me, they was in there laughing.
The fact that the hospital director is a woman, right? You would think that basically she would have more of a I guess you can say she would have more of a like a interest in making sure the client is okay. But, again, it just goes to show you that she wasn't putting up with the crap either.
Looking at me like I was dumb. The lady was like, "What do you want?" I'm like, "I want compensation. That's what I want. Do you want us to look at your injuries and treat them now?" No, I don't. I've been out the hospital for days. And when I was in here, like, why would I let y'all touch me again? So,
But then she said, they did me wrong in the hospital twice. That's what they said. That, they did me wrong in the hospital twice, so obviously you got saw again, you know.
oh, she was like, "I'm gonna do my investigation and get back to you." Well, I said, "You do what you gotta do, and I'll do what I gotta do." It was Blue Moon, right, baby? I went to the U.S. Embassy and raised hell 2 days before Christmas. You said it? Because
You know what's funny about them too? They always pull this, oh, we are one card, we're all African and all this other BS and stuff like that. But the minute that something goes wrong for them, they're back in the U.S. embassy. They're back talking to someone that they claim was racist and things like that. But this just goes to show you they secretly love the Anglo people of America and just Anglo people in general.
I got out the hospital on December 19th, right? But I still needed to recover. What I went to the hospital for originally was malaria. I had malaria. And not only did I have malaria, but I had the rarest kind, the cerebral malaria that like makes you crazy.
So the fact that she has cerebral malaria, and I'm gonna see what that does. Like what? How does the causes of cerebral malaria? I'm gonna see what the causes are. Let me see. So it's definitely caused by a mosquito. That's what we do know.
So this is a blood situation, but I come out with physical injuries. So I go to the U.S. Embassy. They telling me, "Oh, they're closed. They're closed. This ain't damn Christmas Day or Christmas Eve."
So the thing is like if she's saying that, and cerebral malaria, that has to do with the blood and things like that. What I'm thinking, and I could be wrong, because I don't know how the medical system is in Cote d'Ivoire. But what I'm thinking, and this is just my humble opinion, they probably were doing cupping on her, because cupping, it cleans out the blood. Like when you're cupping, it's like the blood gets cleaned out. So that's what I feel. I feel like they may have been doing cupping while she was when they put anesthesia on her or whatever.
Steve, and somebody finna come talk to me right now. I'm American. Quit talking to me in French. Speak English. If you'll speak English, go give me somebody to speak English.
So again, you see their demands. You see like that they do not like when you speak another language. They see that you don't. They see that, and the thing is, if you go to a place, yeah, you would at least try to familiarize yourself with just like a little bit of the lingo. Like for example, if you're going to Cote d'Ivoire, you would be like, bonjour, comment allez-vous, salut, ça va bien. You would be like picking up those terms like, comment t'appelles-tu? Comment vous appelez-vous? Je m'appelle Fulan Fulan. Et toi? Enchanté. Like you would pick up the basics, Like for example, like you would be like, excuse-moi, où le cinéma? Or something like that. Or où restaurante, restaurant Guinean, or something like that. You would pick up the little things so you can function. But no, she's demanding, oh, speak English. I'm an American. But when I'm pretty sure when you came over there, you were African.
I'm on the U.S. Embassy territory right now, and I need a little extra right there, and I need to talk to somebody. So the head of security came out, and he was a white dude, came running, double timing, tell he was military. He was like, "What happened? What happened?" I was like, "Yeah, I got physically abused at the hospital. I don't know what happened to me while I was unconscious. I'm asking them if they sexually assault me. Like I don't know what the fuck they did to me." So
Did they sexually assault me? And the thing is like, if there was that word, that SA word, I'm pretty sure there would be damage down there if they did something like that. But this just goes to show you the misandry that these women have. I hate to say it, but I truly believe that Western women, especially the black Western woman, is innately just evil. Just like an evil deity that bought into her own hype and her own like delusions to a point that there is no return, basically.
the head of security gave me his. This is a white dude who got an Ivorian dude that worked right up under him. So this dude comes and he's like, well, you need to go to the 30th precinct. I was like, I went there. They sent me away yesterday. He was like, nah, get in the car. Drove over there. Wrote a whole 3-page statement in French, and then the prosecutor picked it up from the country because now I'm in there with the U.S. Embassy, and the guy who turned me away, he got reprimanded because he turned me away. So he was like, "No, you was at the right place yesterday." So then they filed the report. Then I went and got a lawyer because I want to file a civil case because they're filing a criminal case on the physical abuse, the neglect, and also the amount of money they charged me, which when they saw my receipts, they was like, you went in for what? Like, I could have had 3 kids. I could have had 3 kids, 3 cesarean sections, and a hysterectomy and had some change left for the amount of money I paid to go get treated.
So then she's like being entitled, not realizing that like in these spaces, right? In these like third world countries, right? Um, they're not going to have like free healthcare or anything like that. So you actually expecting, you know, expecting, you know, certain things, then like what are you expecting? You're in a country that's developing, okay? This is what I don't get.
So the police think that they extorted me. But what about my physical injuries? So I got myself a lawyer. The lawyer went and filed paperwork to have a judge appoint an expert doctor to go over my medical record and see if anything was done wrong. If the expert doctor says yeah something was done wrong, then I can sue them for to filth, basically, to everything they got. They literally, like, if I show you guys, let me show you. You're not even gonna believe me. Y'all ain't gonna believe it. So anyway, this is part of my book, and it's also part of the reason why I'm leaving Ivory Coast because I've been there for 2 years, and once you get to any country, any place.
So you've been there for 2 years and you didn't learn a lick of French. You didn't learn a lick of Bambara. You didn't learn a lick of Pular. You didn't learn a lick of Wolof. You didn't learn a lick of Creole. You didn't learn a lick of Malinke. You didn't learn a lick of any darn lingua franca that is in that area. Please make it make sense.
You don't know it that well. You have a good time. It's a beautiful place, beautiful vibe. Then after a while, you start to, see how that place ticks, and they're prejudiced against us.
Correction. Prejudice against you. Prejudice against your behavior. Prejudice against the way you carry yourself and the way that your hyena friends carry themselves. That's what they're prejudiced against. They don't want it to infiltrate. Therefore, I'm prejudiced against it as well.
They're prejudiced as fuck. Just because I walked in the building looking like this. Just because y'all don't look like this or act like this, I don't have nothing to do with that. You see.
Just because y'all don't look like this or act like this, I don't have nothing to do with that. I'll pull up some Ivorian women, and you decide which one looks better.
Show y'all how they did to me. Now I didn't send my mama all the photos, so I'm about to look on her messages. Okay, warning, this is graphic, okay? It's graphic. Oh no, that was, see, no, those, I ain't good, I gotta show you the other stuff first. Hold on. So when I got out, I didn't even know I had the bruises and burns on my leg. My daughter, my youngest daughter, she came in my room, you know, she in there taking care of me. She's like, I stood up. She's like, Mom, your leg. And I was like, my legs was hurting. My whole body was hurting because I was, you know, one of the symptoms is like muscle pain and shit. So I was thinking my leg was hurting for that reason. I didn't know this was the problem. So this is the back of my leg. The back of my left leg. So
to be honest, what that looks like is like an allergic reaction, really. I'm just gonna be honest.
I had this one doctor, this one nurse rather, that was in there, and he liked me, I guess, but
He liked me.
Contact information. So I'm texting him like, what happened to me? And he was like, I've been asking people, and nobody wants to confess.
So they even, you know, I'm glad they're on code. That's the good news. They're on code. You know, and yeah, you know, of course you're gonna get a simp among the, you know, even among Africans. You know, like you're gonna get a simp. You know, that happens sometimes. So you're gonna get the pander bear, and he may be looking for papers. You know, that's the thing. He may be looking for papers. You never know. So you're gonna get a simp. You know. But let's continue on.
When I saw my nails ripped off of the skin, and I'm sitting there looking at it for like 3 hours trying to get my mind right. Like, what the fuck happened? I'm literally lost. Like, there's a loop in my head because I don't know what happened to me. And I took a picture of myself in the hospital and my nails, and it's not cute. Mind you, these are my natural nails. So they ripped my nails off. They bruised my leg. The leg thing, he said it was a blood pressure cuff on my leg. I said, why did y'all need to do that? Oh, because we needed your blood pressure every 30 minutes. So you couldn't come get it off my arm. You already put me under anesthesia and had me unconscious. Oh, you were having seizures and spasms. Could it have been that was it happening every 30 minutes? Because that's how, what I think is they put this blood pressure cuff on my leg. It was put on wrong. The shit was shocking me. You know what I'm saying? Like making me have involuntary reflexes. I was kicking the bed. The bed was small as, I'm a tall girl. They had me in a small ass bed or the headboard, the footboard, you know what I'm saying? So I felt like the foot that has this problem is the same leg that the blood pressure cuff was on. So in my mind, I'm thinking that they were shocking the shit out of me every 30 minutes, and then they thinking I'm having seizures, so they put me under anesthesia to take the motherfucking shit. If you look up policeman's heel, it says there has to be repeated pressure, repeated kicking, pushing, something. had to be repeated. So the only way that that could have happened, in my opinion, is every 30 minutes when y'all turn that dumbass cuff on. So this is, let's see. Oh, they left the IV in my arm so long that the shit swelled up to the size of my calf or big.
Do you see how like there is no there is no like I guess you can say no appreciation for anything that they were trying to do to keep her from I want to say suffering more than what she did. Like it's ridiculous, bro. It really is.
Bigger. Look at this. That's my arm. I'm on live telling people what happened to me in the hospital in Ivory Coast. They literally abused me. They abused the shit out of me out there. Are you considering another African country? No, I'm not. I'm coming back to the U.S.
That's good. And we need more of them not to consider African countries or any traditional societies for that matter. You know, like we need none of them to consider like African countries. You know, this is a good thing for us. You know, it works for us that you know that the more Keishas that have this experience, the better it is for us. You know, because tourist dollars will come from other people. It's not really it doesn't matter. You know, if she's out of the equation. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
I'm coming back to the U.S. so I can get my money up like I know how to do real fast. And then I'll decide where else I'm going to go. But no, I'm not going back to Puerto Rico. I left Puerto Rico for a reason as well. Because Puerto Rico is on some other shit too.
So she even left the United States territory. So, you know, when you look at this and that she's having problems in all these places, and it's not just one place she's having problems in, you have to kind of ask yourself, is she the problem? You know what I mean? You kind of have to ask yourself that question, like, well, you know, maybe she is the problem. You know what I mean? So, yeah, yeah. So, yeah, that that's a way to look at it. You know. Well, let's continue.
But here's the thing, guys. This is what long story short, because all the details are going to be in the book. Long story short is this. This is what I learned. We're a formidable tribe as Black Americans. We just don't know that we're a tribe. Their tribal is hell in Africa. And the only way we can be successful, in my opinion, in Africa, is that we come as a group. Is that we build our own community. We build our own schools. We build.
So she's trying to again like make the sisterhood like she's trying to in essence she's trying to get the sisterhood on board, and they're not really. I don't think they're gonna really be on board because they don't even do that here. So it's like, okay, well, you can talk that fly stuff all you want, but the fact of the matter is, is the reality will be quite different for you. So, you can keep on talking your mess, but you know, it's not gonna really matter much. But let's continue.
Build our own businesses, hospitals, and our standard, and then we let them buy from us and deal with us because that's what the Chinese is doing, that's what the French is doing, that's what the Arabs is doing.
Well, actually, the Chinese are actually doing like they're making deals. You know what I mean? And for the most part, there is kind of like a mutual exchange in those deals. So that's what's happening on that end. Um, so for you to say that, you sound kind of ridiculous. As for the Arabs, they've been in Africa for quite some time. There's actually In Africa, in some places, you'll find like first, second, even at times third generation Arabs who have been there for a long time. So, again, she sounds ridiculous.
They coming in a group, getting their own little section, doing their thing. They're not trying to integrate like us. We come out there like, oh, my family, my family. They don't give a about you. If you're not from their tribe, it's like,
No, it's not about that. It's that we just don't give a f about you due to how you act and due to the fact that you think that the red carpet should be rolled out to you. Well, as a matter of fact, you're not nobody special. You're just another tourist. You're not going to get the red carpet treatment just because you feel that, oh, I'm black, so I need to get this treatment. No, it doesn't work like that. Sorry.
they want to see how stupid you are. They want to see if you're going to spend your money. They're going to see if you're going to pay 3 times as much for something that somebody else is paying for. And then they're going to, want you to just be okay with the fact that they think that, the pale faced people are they saviors.
But wasn't he your savior in the embassy and things like that? Please make it make sense, please. Thank you.
I took my daughter out of school because they don't teach African history. They teach French history.
I mean, duh. It's a French colony. What do you expect? It's a French colony. What do you expect? It's based off of French curriculum.
They teach what they want you to know. They don't even teach about Leopold in the Congo. Just happened in the 1900s. Killed 10 million. 10 million. But they don't talk about that. They don't teach that.
Why would they talk about that if that was a Belgian colony? And it wasn't even a French colony. I'm pretty sure at the higher level in university, they're going to talk about that.
And that's the problem. That's one of the problems. They don't even know the history that they have with the colonizer.
How can we not know the history with the colonizers when we lived through the colonizers? Sometimes they don't even know how stupid they sound. Seriously.
And we do. So I'm not saying that Africa's not a place for us to be, but the way we go, we need to go as a group. I'm a single black woman with 2 daughters. You know what I'm saying?
So in other words, you're what we call in our language asabajo. That's what you are, asabajo. Which in essence, I'm not going to translate it, but many asabajo women, end up like modern women in the West. It's the same fate in Africa most of the time, unless they decide to be a co-wife.
I'm a single black woman with 2 daughters. I ain't gonna be able to do this by myself. I'm not gonna be able to make things happen. They don't even respect women out here like that. I was working with this lawyer, and he was on some old bullshit. I'm trying to do this conference, investor conference, invite people here. He's supposed to do one part of the game. He's lackadaisical, slow, and so I hit him up, and he's like, "Oh, you don't respect me. You don't respect me as your older brother. You ain't my older brother. I don't know your mama. You don't know mine."
So of course, because they've been told by men here, unfortunately, and this is the sad thing. This is the unfortunate thing. They've been told by men here that like they're the leaders, they're the torchbearers, and things like that. When in most of these societies, like in African societies, the patriarchy is still alive and well. As a matter of fact, I posted on TikTok, long live traditional patriarchy. I posted that. And of course, it got flagged and what have you, which is why I'm serving a ban on one of my TikTok accounts because of it.
You get respect off of what you do. You get respect off of, your actions. Like, I don't gotta yield to you because.
So take your own advice. The way you're talking, it sounds like your actions are very disrespectful. So
You came out the coochie first, player. Think y'all know me like that? They don't. I think now that it's Black History Month, somebody needs to introduce African history to Africa so they can learn about each other, because that will create unity. That will create pride. You know.
we already know about each other long enough. As a matter of fact, there were more pre-colonial books about different regions in Africa than there were post-colonial books about different regions in Africa.
You know how prideful we felt when we learned that we created all the things that are technical and practical to our.
So you created an iPhone, you created a PS5, you created a MacBook. You came with the patent for Range Rover, Jaguars, and things like that. Or was the material in Africa used for the creators to do that?
Our lives, but we didn't know those things. We wouldn't know. You know what I'm saying? It created some sort of pride and unity. They ain't got it. They ain't got it. They ain't got it. Not on the people level. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, yeah, like.
I'm proudly Fulani. I'm proudly in touch with my culture so much that I even made this and put it on TikTok. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Let me see. Okay, let me see. I'm going to find it real quick. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, let me see. And we're not proud. Give me a damn break. I made this on TikTok to show you how proud I really am. It's just that our pride is pretty quiet. We don't have to beat our chests. It's the difference.
The Ghanaian president. Oh, African Americans, come over here, get your citizenship. You know what I'm saying? Hey, how you doing? Hey, come over here, get your citizenship. That's the president. You ain't gonna meet him, and if you do, okay. But all the people,
Ready to go?
they don't feel like him. They feel like, who's this nigga coming over here? Where they from? Who they is? You know what I'm saying? The Nigerians and the Ghanaians, they always got a battle going on something. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy.
And the reason why they have the beef going on is because they don't want what happened to you guys in your community to happen to theirs. That's the reason why. That is the main reason.
Solo.
I don't know Spanish that well.
Okay, you just gotta listen.
No, listen, even though this is where my mother was from.
Okay.
Cubana. Yeah. Mama Cubana, Papa Jamaican. Yeah. Wakanda forever.
And you New Yorker. Yeah.
Blessed.
So I'm out here right now because I still have like property and stuff, and I have like my truck in
Don't leave.
I have my truck in Puerto Rico still. So I'm about to go to get my truck and ship it back to Georgia, so I can have my vehicle You know what I'm saying? And then a lot of stuff that I have out there, I'm just gonna sell it. I have a car, I have a bunch of other things, but I'm gonna sell it, and I'm coming back. I'm about to build my money up. I'm about to build up my network of people, because we going over there forceful next time. Like, because we still need to go, because America ain't it.
So she just again did the double talk. At first she says she's not living in Africa no more, but then she's talking about going over it again. And guess what? They're going to even be more ready for you then. So keep it up. You're only digging a hole for yourself.
At all. It ain't it over there either. But what's it over there is that they have land that's ours, and we can go claim it.
How is it yours? Please. How is it yours?
We could live freely there for real. You know what I'm saying? But if it's safety in numbers. You know what I'm saying? If we got our own group, it'd be a whole different type of thing. But you know, yeah, we need to exactly. And they not with the shit. Like, we with the shit out here, they are not with the shit.
Oh, really? One word. Machete.
See, I didn't realize how criminal I think when I started seeing this shit in Africa. Like, what I mean by that is this. Hold on.
So she's like even plotting to do Pookie and Ray Ray things, okay? Not realizing the machete is not really a merciful thing.
Oh my, African just busted. Nah, it didn't bust. It became real. It became a dream is a whole nother, is untangible. Reality is reality. So you just regroup and you decide on how you gonna make it happen. But when I say I didn't understand how I think criminal, I used to pull up to the gas station, right? First off, you can't even use your card to get gas. You gotta pay cash. Cool. You pay cash. It's the little boy, about 5'1", pumping your gas, and he got a knot this fat in his pocket, and he take your money and.
I heard Spectral Hayes. Keep going.
I said, what? That could never happen. If it was a whole bunch of niggas out here, that could never happen.
It would still happen because that little boy would have a gun on him. I've seen it myself in Africa. Like, do you think like those little boys are just gullible? There's someone in the bushes watching them. Back up.
They're gonna change the policies.
If we were going,
and that's just one of the things that they do. That's just not. But I got business ideas, plans, actually. Like, I've created the business plans, foolproof plans. And I'm gonna come back over here and get all the money and the people together and go back and do it. And when I win on my court case, because I'm going for millions, I'm talking about I'm suing the hospital, each doctor's insurance. I'm not playing. And I'll invest right back in that damn country.
So there, the thing is, there would be news and stuff like this about this happening. So I really doubt this is happening.
Let me see. My wife said that when our ancestors were taken from West Africa, it created brain drain. Most of the early African leaders came to the U.S. to get educated. Everything was a scam. Taxes to the landlord. Okay, so here's the other thing about that. What we don't know, as Black Americans, is that Mansa Musa, you hear about Mansa Musa all the time from Mali, but you don't hear about his brother, Abu Bakari. Abu Bakari is the reason why Mansa Musa became king. He gave him the throne. Abu Bakari gave...
No, he didn't give him the throne. What happened is that he got bored. He got bored in the kingdom and decided to go elsewhere. But Mansa Musa was on the throne. He didn't give it to him. He didn't say, oh, okay, yeah, you can have it. No.
Okay? So we got to start looking at it like we was moving about the world before anybody was moving about the world. We got to look at it like, just put it like that. Everything that's anything, we built it, including the Vatican. Okay?
Here we go again, claiming everything.
to understand how we need to do it. They got money. What regular nigga you know walking in the bank cashing a check for 113 grand? That and own his car outside, because everybody who got a car own it. Where you headed tonight? Ain't no credit.
That's CFA. That's Central African francs.
So we gotta come out there, come correct, a check like that. You fix that shit. So I missed my flight by like an hour.
You know, I'm tired of listening to this woman, and it just goes to show you again that, you know, these women go everywhere and think that the red carpet should be given to them. And it's like, woman, it's not happening. Okay? You can like just really like chill the hell out and fall back. Seriously. Like it's not happening. Like, I mean, this woman, it's crazy, bro. It really is. Like when you're dealing with them and stuff like that. And yeah, man. So with that being said, just understand that there'll be more of these women doing the same thing and having the same results, regardless of what country they go to. And so, you know, again, this is a victory for us, you know. And I'm talking about the ones who are not only African, but also the ones who are like the ones who have good intentions in going over there. You know, obviously her intentions weren't good. If she's talking about criminal minds and all that crap. And apparently she couldn't secure a man over there either. But with that being said, Fool is signing out. SYSMB, save yourself, Muslim brother. And Jarama.